Well, if anyone's been doing any calculations on our one-year report, you might think we're one short. I have to say, and it's not completely your fault, we've had a scheduling issue basically. So we've got you today that completes a full lineup. Yeah. So, again, I would say you've been pretty quiet over your year. I mean, you don't like this sort of thing particularly, I don't think either.
This is not within my comfort zone, no, I have to say. But it has to be done, so I accept that.
It just sounds like a real chore.
No, not at all. No, honestly, I have had my head down.
Okay. Well, let's go back to the whole thing.
Getting things.
Did you expect to get in? I mean, was this thing one of those things you stood for, and then you didn't think it was going to happen, or were you ready for it?
At first, I didn't think so, but I did get a really good reception on the door.
Well, clearly.
So so I wasn't at all confident, but I wasn't totally surprised when.
Has it lived up to your expectations?
Oh, and more, actually, yeah. Actually, it's taken me to understand that actually, you're in a position where you actually can do something, and that people are taking notice of your opinions within government, within departments, and you do honestly have the ability to change things.
Because you're on health and education. Two ones that you particularly like, I guess.
That's absolutely where I should be. That's my social justice, social policy, those are my real passions. So health and education for me are the two places I want to be.
Well, there were controversies, especially in health, and there still continues to be these controversies, big decisions, that sort of thing. Yeah. I mean, the Meals on Wheels is the latest one that's obviously that's passed over your desk. You had to sanction that as a member?
Yes.
And you support it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Can you give reasons why?
Yeah, because we were never providing Meals on Wheels, but we did we allocated funding to the delivery of it. We were allocating £150,000 to it. Also, Age Concern are charging, I think, £120–125 per meal on top of that. Now, I've said this before, we absolutely respect and appreciate how we can work with the third sector, but things still have to be open to challenge, an honest and open challenge. And when we feel something is not value for money or not sustainable, then we've got to look at other options. And that's what's happening here.
You have a plan B then, do you?
Well, there are other service providers who can provide the meals. Age Concern actually haven't said they're going to stop providing them.
It's just
they may decide to carry that on without government funding.
I mean, you're withdrawing your support completely, I mean, or was that up for debate?
No, it's not up for debate, no.
And I can see there's passion there. There's obviously, I mean, this is not something you took lightly, but
it isn't at all.
Is this because we don't see this? Is it explaining it to the public? Is maybe sometimes the problem?
I think that's where this falls down.
This is constantly happening.
The news gets out there, but the thinking and the reasons behind decisions don't always get conveyed to the public. And I think this is what is lacking, actually, and especially in health at the moment, is that we're putting out press releases, but we're not really telling people why we're doing that. Mm-hmm. And that's incredibly important if we're going to get people's understanding and people's cooperation.
Well, we've never chatted in a whole year, so maybe we should do more of this. Yeah. I mean, isn't it? Sometimes it's down to you to actually convey information.
I'd agree, yeah.
Okay, so there you are. You're sitting in this nice, these two departments. Are you got sort of ideals that you'd like to move on? You'd like to be a minister, that sort of thing? At some point, I mean.
Well, at some point, yes.
Are you a career politician then?
No, I'm not. I'm here to do what I can. I don't see it as a career pathway. If at the end of 5 years I feel I haven't achieved anything, and there are other people that could do something, I'm happy to stand down and let somebody do it. Mm-hmm. But I would like to carry on because I would like to achieve.
Well, that answers. So you have an ambition to sit through, and of course that eventually could be a ministerial ship. Would you like something like education or health or something like that?
Yes, absolutely.
You would. You'd grasp that one.
Yeah. Not right now.
No.
But yes, in the future, certainly.
You see, you come across quite quietly, but in fact, I can see underneath there's quite an ambitious person.
Yeah. Pretty.
You agree with that? Okay, tell us about getting into the house and the makeup of it. It all seemed very cosy to start with, although there was controversy even then about in health with this letter, that CEO and all that. Do you want to go into that one? Are you open, transparent about it?
Absolutely open and transparent about it. Yes, everyone knows that, the chief executive and the minister at that time were not getting along quite as they should. I didn't support signing a letter. So
did you sign it though?
No, I didn't.
Right,
no.
but some did, you see. I mean, so, well,
well, you have to ask others about
exactly.
that, but no, I did not sign the letter. No,
now,
I didn't.
That was interesting, because I didn't remember that. Pressure put on you? I mean,
not at all, no. I mean, in fact, I didn't know about it until 2 minutes before I was asked to do it. So there was no pressure put on. And Kate accepted my decision that I didn't want to sign that. And I felt, I still feel, we need continuity in health to some degree. Keep chopping and changing, and it takes people time to get into a role. It's taken me 12 months to understand my divisions in health.
And do you feel you get an input? I mean, do you think you are running the ship? The politicians are sort of guiding the ship.
Well,
and your people underneath are doing what you want them to do.
To some extent, to a large extent, I would say. It's slow. It's just so slow. But it's such a huge, it's like a huge freight train running down the rails. And how do you turn it? It's.
I've been rewatching Yes Minister recently on television. It always comes to politicians and the people below them. It's that sort of Sir Humphrey sort of attitude.
Yeah, and there are people in there who do not want to change, and you've got to manoeuvre around that, haven't you?
Okay. So there you are. You're not doing that many high-profile things. You're the sort of the swan, I suppose you're going to call yourself here on this. Are you? You're doing things behind the scenes more?
At this time, yes. Yeah. I feel now I've got more of a grip of things that hopefully in the next 12 months I can.
Have you got your eye on any particular thing that you would like to?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still very, very keen to push rate reform, because I think it's totally unfair. And
explain what you'd like to do.
Well, just a fairer system. The way it's set up at the minute, it doesn't really.
Because you're representing Douglas, of course.
Yeah, I would like to see an all-island rate, most definitely. Whether we'll ever get that, whether there's enough.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Get other MHKs to support that sort of thing.
Yeah, and there's only 8 Douglas, so you're out way to start with. But the way that the rates are calculated at the moment makes it incredibly unfair with the water rate as well, because that's based on your property rate, which is calculated in an odd way. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to see that. I appreciate it's going to have some expense attached to it.
Yeah, Mr. Cannon's doing his budgets right now, I'm guessing, for February.
Well, I have spoken to Chris Thomas this week, and he told me that there's something due to come back in the next couple of months on rates, so let's wait and see what.
How's the communication between you as a MHK and Coleman / the Chief Minister?
Good.
Do you get on?
Yeah. His door's always open. He's, always happy to see you, and he calls into my office when he's got time. So yeah.
Of course, the penalty for doing this interview so late, we've had so much news happening. I mean, I've got to ask you about his performance on television. I mean, was that the right decision for him to go on Panorama? Was it? And also, we had that interview that we had, the press conference.
That was a bit of a disaster, wasn't it? I mean, you can't.
Which bit? Both.
Perhaps the secretary could have whispered in his ear rather than asking him to leave. That kind.
We got a lot of pressure for putting that out, by the way. I got asked the next day why I'd put the interview out, and I thought, well, that's funny because I always put out the press conference. And since then, I'm still worried that we're going to be slightly curtailed in future. But I'm keeping my eye on that one.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's important that we do show things in action?
Absolutely. Yeah, warts and all.
Okay, so
because you have to have some understanding there too that. Yes, it's Chief Minister, but we're just ordinary people. We make mistakes. We don't always run to order. And seeing the human side of things sometimes is not a bad thing, is it?
But doing that interview for Panorama, what do you think of that?
Well, it was cut down to such a...
Well, it's always going to be done that.
Yes.
I think in 55 minutes.
The whole Panorama thing, actually, the Chief Minister was very sure that, if anything is wrong, we'll be looking into it and sorting it out. But from a journalist's point of view, even you must have seen that, a lot of that was spin, misinterpretation.
Unfortunately, he went in front of the camera, and Jersey and Guernsey First Minister, Chief Minister didn't. So it's always like, it's one of those, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
But, okay.
But you make these decisions, and that's it. It's done. You have to live with it, don't you?
So besides what you got there, the all-round rates, looking back on this year, have you done everything you want to do? Because I'm going to ask you for your numbers out of 10 and so.
Not with that, no. As I say, it's been very much a department thing for me this last year. Getting to grips with the divisions I've been given in departments and finding out how they work and what I can do to improve things.
Would you recommend other people to have a go at being an MHK? Would you?
Yes, I would, honestly. You don't need to be anything special. You just need to have some passion and be able to put your views forward. And
what's the workload been like?
Massive. It is
a lot
massive.
Of reading?
Huge amounts of reading.
Do you have to go through everything? I mean, that's
certainly I have this last year, because you don't know what you're going to miss if you don't.
Yeah.
Perhaps in the future I'll be maybe a little bit more selective and concentrate on the things I really want to. But certainly this year, I've read everything that's put in front of you.
Okay. Rating time. What do you give yourself out of 10? Yourself, this is?
I'd go 9 out of 10 for effort. But less for achievement.
Well, it's only one vote, so would you want 8.5 or 9?
No, because achievement is much less, I think. You know, there's
Overall
definitely
score?
a could do better.
Okay.
Must do better. Will do better.
So, what number?
For
overall, just your performance.
Oh, I'm going to go 7 then.
Okay, that's gone from 9 to 7. Okay.
Yeah, well, effort and achievement are two very different things.
I know. Okay, that's up to you. And how do you rate the government out of 10? How have they done?
I'd go for an 8.
That's good. That's high.
Yeah.
You're kind of on board with them all, obviously. That I
don't agree with everything, and I don't agree with everybody, but I think we do have to work together. I can't do anything on my own, and neither can anyone else. You're a cog in a wheel. Mm-hmm. You've got to do your bit in order to drive things forward, but you cannot do anything on your own.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us. I hope to see much more of you, and let's see where we're going to go. Right, another year.
Yeah.
We'll do this thing same time next time.
Okay. See you then.